Imagine a galaxy where humans are known not just for their technology or diplomacy, but for something far more unexpected: their ability to care for the most dangerous creatures in the universe. Today, we dive into a wild tale of chaos, trust, and a little bit of insanity as we explore why even the fiercest predators in the galaxy trust humans with their young. Buckle up, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Meet Captain Jack Roundhouse, a human diplomatic liaison stationed on Omega-7, a bustling hub of interspecies trade and diplomacy. His job is to maintain peace among 17 sapient species, ensuring that negotiations go smoothly and that no one gets eaten in the process. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, not quite. Jack's days are filled with unexpected challenges, but nothing could prepare him for what was about to unfold. One fateful Tuesday morning, as Jack sips his coffee and reviews the day's agenda, he receives a call from station security that would change everything. The voice on the other end is frantic. "Captain Roundhouse, we have a situation at Docking Bay 3. The Nexus Predators are here and they need to speak with you, specifically about their cubs." Jack's heart races. The Nexus Predators are known throughout the galaxy as apex predators, towering at 9 feet tall, covered in armored scales, and possessing enough teeth to make a great white shark feel inadequate. They are not just fearsome, they are also incredibly intelligent, having developed advanced civilizations while sitting atop the food chain. But now, they need a babysitter for their young. "Did you just say cubs?" Jack asks incredulously. "As in baby Nexus Predators?" "Affirmative, Captain. 3 of them. And they're asking for human assistance," the officer replies, his voice tinged with nervousness. Jack arrives at Docking Bay 3, and the scene before him is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. 2 adult Nexus Predators stand guard, their scales shimmering in an iridescent display, flanking 3 smaller versions of themselves. The cubs, about the size of adult tigers, are playfully wrestling with each other, showcasing their sharp teeth and boundless energy. Ambassador Kirk, the larger of the adults, clicks her secondary jaw in what Jack has learned is their version of a polite greeting. "Captain Roundhouse, we require your species' unique services. We have an emergency summit regarding the Relian trade dispute, and all Nexus representatives are required. We need a babysitter." Jack stands there momentarily stunned. Here he is, a human, being entrusted with the care of the galaxy's most efficient killing machines. "You mean to tell me that even the most terrifying predators in known space trust humans with their kids?" he asks half-jokingly. "Indeed," Kirk replies, her tone serious. "Your kind has a remarkable history of nurturing dangerous offspring." As the adults explain the situation, Jack can't help but feel a mix of pride and anxiety. He recalls the stories of how humanity's reputation as universal babysitters began decades ago when a human zoologist managed to care for a clutch of baby drachnids during a diplomatic crisis. That one act of kindness had set a precedent, and now here he was, about to step into the role of a babysitter for apex predators. With a deep breath, Jack nods. "All right, I'll do it. But I need to know everything about these cubs. Dietary restrictions, behavioral guidelines, and emergency contacts." The parents provide him with a crash course on the cubs' needs. They explain that the cubs are already fed, so there should be no incidents, and they emphasize the importance of keeping them entertained. Jack can't help but think, what could possibly go wrong? As the parents leave, Jack turns to face the 3 cubs, who are now eyeing him with a mix of curiosity and mischief. One of them, a particularly adventurous little guy named Kevin, has already climbed onto Jack's shoulder, using him as a launching pad for aerial attacks on his siblings. Jack chuckles nervously, realizing that he's in for a wild ride. "Okay, little ones," he says, trying to sound authoritative. "Let's set some ground rules. No eating the environmental controls, no using humans as springboards, and definitely no attempting to help the maintenance droids evolve through combat." The cubs seem to understand, or at least they pretend to, as they begin to explore their new environment. Jack quickly realizes that keeping them entertained is going to be a full-time job. He pulls out a bag of reinforced toys, hoping they'll be enough to distract the cubs from their more destructive, Instincts. As the first hour passes, Jack is pleasantly surprised. The Cubs are engaging with the toys, and they seem to grasp the concept of boundaries, at least in their own way. They collaborate to build what looks like a makeshift siege engine out of play equipment, showcasing their intelligence and creativity. Jack can't help but admire their ingenuity, even as he worries about the potential for chaos. But then, the great snack crisis hits. Despite the parents' assurances that the Cubs were fed, it turns out that Cubs operate on the same principle as human teenagers. They're always hungry, especially when there's important equipment nearby that shouldn't be chewed on. Jack finds himself in a constant battle to redirect Kevin away from critical power conduits, offering him a reinforced puzzle toy filled with synthesized meat products instead. "No, Kevin, those are spicy. They'll give you indigestion," Jack exclaims, trying to keep his composure as the Cubs eye the forbidden snacks with longing. The fact that these creatures capable of biting through starship hull plating can be redirected with toys and treats still amazes him. Just when Jack thinks he has a handle on the situation, the station's lights flicker and everything goes sideways. The artificial gravity hiccups and the emergency lights kick in, bathing the room in a red glow that makes the Cubs look even more prehistoric. They stare at the now disabled containment field with newfound interest, and Jack realizes he's about to find out just how much trouble they can get into. As the Cubs dart out of the play area, Jack scrambles after them, armed only with a bag of synthesized treats and a growing sense of dread. He follows their trail through the maintenance tunnels, trying to keep up with their playful antics while avoiding station security and a group of very surprised smugglers. "Bob, please tell me you've got eyes on at least one of them," Jack whispers into his communicator, trying to keep his voice steady. "Better than that," Bob replies, his voice crackling with excitement. "I've got a theory about what they're doing." "Pull up the station schematic on your datapad." Jack does as instructed and sees the Cubs moving in a pattern that systematically covers every major cargo route through the station. They're tracking a scent, he realizes, piecing together the clues. The power fluctuation wasn't an accident. It coincided perfectly with a scheduled cargo transfer in Bay 12. As he rounds a corner, Jack catches sight of the Cubs cornering 3 frightened individuals in maintenance uniforms. The smugglers are trying to figure out how to escape from a dead end while the Cubs block their exit, their playful demeanor shifting to one of predatory focus. "Don't move," one of the smugglers whispers to his companions. "Their vision is based on movement." Jack can't help but smirk. Actually, their vision is based on highly advanced optical organs that can process information faster than our best quantum computers. They're not moving because they're waiting to see what I want them to do. The smugglers spin around, making the wrong move. Click, click, and snap, the Cubs immediately pounce, herding them back into their corner with the kind of coordinated teamwork that would make a wolf pack proud. Jack steps forward, trying to sound more confident than he feels. "So, want to explain why you needed to disable station power during a diplomatic summit?" The lead smuggler growls, reaching slowly for something in his pocket. "Just call off your monsters and walk away." Kevin, apparently offended by the term monsters, chooses that moment to demonstrate why Nexus Predators are considered the galaxy's apex predators. He doesn't attack. He simply bites through the smuggler's pocket, removing both the weapon and a significant portion of the uniform in one precise motion. "Fun fact about Nexus Cubs," Jack comments, trying to maintain his composure. "They're actually more controlled than adults. An adult would have just eaten the whole arm." The smugglers, now displaying a semblance of wisdom, raise their hands in surrender. Okay, it's just some prohibited tech. We were hired to disrupt the summit. No one was supposed to get hurt." Jack activates his comm unit. "Security, we're going to need a team in Maintenance Tunnel 14C and bring treats, the good ones. These Cubs just earned them." As they wait for security to arrive, Jack watches in amazement as the Cubs maintain their guard positions with perfect discipline. They've seamlessly switched from playful youngsters to efficient predators, proving exactly why their species evolved to rule their corner of the galaxy. "How are our little law enforcement officers doing?" Bob asks over the comm. Jack looks at the Cubs, who have started playing a game of who can look more intimidating while still keeping the smugglers contained. let's just say they've earned themselves an extra-long play date with the magnetic ball launcher when this is over. And that's how 3 Nexus Cubs, 2 humans with questionable career choices, and 1 very detailed station safety manual managed to uncover and stop a plot to disrupt interstellar diplomacy. Jack realizes that explaining to the Cubs' parents how their children ended up joining Station Security's K9 unit, now rapidly renamed to the X9 unit, will be an interesting conversation. As the Cubs leave with their parents, Jack can't help but feel a sense of pride. They've not only survived the day but also proven that even the most dangerous creatures can become allies. And in that moment, he understands that humanity's unique ability to connect with and care for even the most fearsome beings is what truly sets them apart in the galaxy. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about humanity's wild adventures in the galaxy, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about humans being the galaxy's babysitters? Until next time, keep exploring the cosmos, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous creatures can become our greatest friends.